Hey everyone, Mr. Mom Collectibles, and today I'm back with a little bit of a review of the Batman from Hot Toys, the 1989 figure that was just released a couple days ago. I'm also going to be comparing it to the DX09 and going over some of the differences that I see in this figure and the photos from Sideshow to try to help get through the muddied waters on whether or not it's worth upgrading to this figure or just keep this as is. So let's check it out. So here, this is the new figure that Hot Toys released under, we consider the community seems to consider it a 2.0 of the Batman. Notice it's not branded from the Flash movie. It's just called Batman, and they're calling it out in the description from the 1989 Michael Keaton movie. So that's just something to keep in mind of that it's not technically under the Flash movie banner. Comes in two versions: a collector's version, which has the figure, various accessories, three mouth plates, a stand, hands, a separate eye rolling system. And this one's coming in at $279 with an expected ship date of April 2024 to September 2024. Then you also have the deluxe edition, which gives you all of the same options and accessories, but you also get this pretty cool gargoyle stand. So it's an optional base that you can actually put him on. The top of the gargoyle base is you can rotate this. I also like the little call out to Vicky Vale's shoe right there. What I like about this piece is that if you don't want to use your Batman with this display, you can use this with a variety of other figures: Spider-Man, other Batman figures, Daredevil, the Crow, things like that. I did get this. I'll explain my reasons why I got it. Partly because there's also another drop that happened, which is a vehicle. That's the main reason. I'm absolutely, anyone who knows me and I say on the streams, I'm in love with 1989 Batman. Michael Keaton is my Batman. It's my childhood. I grew up with this figure. I grew up with this character. It embodies everything. This is my Batman. And you hear people say that all the time, but for me, this is him. So, it looks really great. I'm looking at the photos, and the first thing I want to do is jump out and pull out my old one and kind of compare. But there is a few call outs they make. One of the things I do notice right away is the cape. So in terms of major and minor differences, major difference is going to be the cape. Anyone who had the original one know that cape was a absolute epic fail from Hot Toys. They just don't have a great track record, in my opinion, of making capes, whether it be drape, wired. But the cape is, in terms of frame, looks lighter. It looks more screen accurate. The material you can see here, it does look a lot better. Shout out to Connor from Hot Toys Hotline. He has the Kylo Ren Star Wars figure, and he's saying that the material looks like the cloak that Kylo Ren wears, which is a nice call out. But the cape is definitely one thing. We'll pull up some photos here and go through the photos. But the cape is a noticeable difference. Also, another thing, and I'll zoom through the photos to give you my idea, is the mouth plates. So the mouth plates here, I'm skipping through. So this is the mouth plate. So it comes with three mouth plates, all brand new. These are definitely three new mouth plates from what I can see in these photos. New sculpts, updated paint apps. As a matter of fact, you can even see here, and these are some of the call outs I'll see, the whole cowl, everything. They're even calling it out: refined cowl and interchangeable lower faces. Looking here of the cowl, it's more rounded around the ears, which gives it a more realistic feel to what the cowl looked like in the movie. The DX09, it's more straight, a little more flush. And so it looks more realistic in this. And also the texturing. You can see here, they really nailed the likeness of like a latex or rubber material that the cowl was made out of. The DX09 is more like a smooth, it's plastic, but it's still much more smoother, not as texturized. So it doesn't really blend in terms of the actual the texture of the cowl. It doesn't blend really well to the suit because you see plastic to rubber, but they hit this out of the park. Funny enough, my favorite one is actually the bloodied sculpt. I think the blood looks so realistic. I really hope this one maintains to final production, but it looks absolutely fantastic. Now, one of the reasons why I said I bought two of them is because of this right here is the Batmobile. I am picking up the Batmobile. So my old one, I'm probably going to have displayed with the car. The new one, I'll have displayed on its own. But there's another tease in this. There's technically two other teases in this because the Batmobile came after the figure. I think they dropped like 10 minutes apart. But the other tease is the Bat computer, which this was at a couple San Diego Comic-Con, one of those Comic-Cons. So they teased this in person. It's in the photos. I'm banking that this thing is probably going to come out if the Bat computer comes out. And what's funny is at the time of recording this video, it's 11:24 at night. There might be a drop tonight. This is it's February 16th, so this video will probably be uploaded tomorrow. It'd be really funny if this came out tonight, but or another day. But if this Bat computer comes out, then that's where the other Batman is going to be displayed with. So that's why I'm getting two, is because of one with the Batmobile, which will be displayed like this, one with the computer like this. Now, what I want to do is punch in on some of the closer refined details to the figure. What I'm going to do, I'm actually going to I'm going to talk about some of the things on one of the photos, and then I'm going to pull the figure up. I'm going to zoom in on the camera, try to focus in on the DX09, and show you, the old one to the new one. So one of the first things that I noticed right away, is the belt. These little like gas canisters or whatever these were, these are definitely in a different location on this belt than it is on the old one. You notice how close these are to the center buckle. You'll see on mine, they actually start further back, almost mid waist. Also, the coloring of the belt looks a little bit dirtier, a little bit darker yellow, where on the old one it's a brighter yellow. So, and the other thing to also keep in mind with, I'm really hoping we get some secret base photos. The lighting on this obviously is meant to represent the Batcave, so it's going to be darker, because this photo right here is very kind of, it's tricking me, because it looks very refined. All this musculature, the abs look much more refined and and tightened and detailed than the DX09. But as I said, it could be lighting, photoshopping, editing the photo. So we got to kind of watch what we're looking at here. But the cape, as I said, is another thing. And here, this photo is pretty big in terms of the posability. So the other thing that they talked about with this figure, and I'll call it out right here, is they're calling it 11.8 inches. I actually measured the DX09, and this is almost tapping out at 13 inches from the foot up to the top of the cowl. It's just a smidge under 13 inches. So normally people think they're going bigger bodies, but in fact, Michael Keaton was actually a shorter Batman. So I like that attention to detail, that they're actually making him slightly smaller, but they're making him more accurate to the character's actual height, which is nice. So this figure, if you have him posed next to the new one, you're going to see a height differential. Once again, that measurement is from the bottom of the foot up to the top of the cowl, the ears. That's how Sideshow has it measured. So I did the same measurement, 11.8. This one's coming in at just under 13. So what I want to do is, like I said, when I was looking at these photos, I was noticing the poses. And one of them, which was very interesting to me, was this one here, where he has his foot actually up on the gargoyle stand. And so that's making me think, I really hope they really redefine the texture on the suit to give it some more posability, because the way this is right now, it's a struggle to get it into any kind of pose. I keep mine in museum pose, as you see here, which is very classic Batman. But to get an extreme pose like this, I don't see the old one being able to do that. So what I'm going to do is actually zoom in on my camera. This is the Michael Keaton Batman figure. Now, what I was talking about with the cowl is this one, as you can see on the sides of the ears, the new one shows a bulge on both sides, so it gives it a more realistic look. Also, it's hard. I'm trying to pick it up on camera, but as you can see, the texture of the cowl, you don't really see. Like I said, I'm going to zoom in. There it is. You see some like dotting and things like that, but you definitely don't see the type of texture. You can see how the light hits it. I'll even try to increase my light a little bit. There we go. There we go. So you can kind of see the texture. There's texture there on the cowl. I'm not denying that, but based on the photos that they posted of this, it's definitely a refined cowl with much more texture on it, which is really great. This is just a smooth plastic, but you can definitely see that. Also, the faceplate, you can evidently see the faceplates are updated. Definitely a little more milky white. It even is like that way in person. But like I said, the cowl, the actual texture of the cowl itself, and also, as I told you, the belt. So when you zoom in on the belt, sorry for that, see how I called out the pills or the gas canisters? They've started right about here, and the camera's picking up pretty true color. There's a much more brighter yellow belt than the one that's seen in the photos. Now, if that's just the photos, we'll have to see in person to see. But the other thing to talk about is the articulation of this figure. Basically, the suit itself, it's all rubber. 90-degree bends you see there, not bad, but you can see the figure wants to kind of retract when you do 90 degrees. You see that? It wants to retract. The biggest thing here is the legs. So now the legs, if I try to replicate this pose, and I'll pull up the photo one more time so you guys can see. If I tried replicating this pose here with his knee up, I've been asked to do this on a couple live streams already. But I'm going to try to replicate something close to this, as I said, very makeshift. But if I put this leg up, you hear the ratchet, I can feel a ratchet, but see, that's the leg straight out. Now I'm going to let go of this because there's a lot of pressure holding this. The leg instantly wants to kick back. See that? I'll do it again. See, that's me holding the leg straight out and letting go. And you see the creasing? That is really, it's not that existent here. Now, if I take this leg and bend it and then try to do a 90, if I try to do a step up bend, you can see that does not look appealing to the naked eye. It does not look appealing. It doesn't look like the photo whatsoever. Now, if I let go of this, we're going to let go. See, this is me doing the step up pose. You see all the creasing. I let go. Yeah, the leg doesn't want to do that. So that's telling me I'm hoping it's a new body, and also the suit itself is better material. The other thing about this figure also, I got this one off eBay. This is my very first grail when I started collecting Hot Toys. This is the very first figure I went backwards and collected. Paid $375 for it, used. The only issues that it had with it was, if you see here, the back plate, how it sticks out a little bit. And also the purse system was damaged. The eye stays straight, but I don't have the stick to change the purse. But other than that, though, this was $375. The other thing that I noticed here, and this could be age of the figure, it's hard to tell, but if you notice here, I can actually crease and put my finger inside. See how my finger bows down? I can actually pull this material. I can pinch this material completely. As you can see, it's pinched. So that's telling me that one of two things: either the rubber is just expanding and it's kind of outgrowing the actual suit. Like you can see here, I can pinch the leather all over the rubber, all over the suit. Obviously, it's a 10-year-old figure. I don't know where its environmental condition was before I had it. I will say the suit is in immaculate condition. There's no damage to this whatsoever, so thankful for that. But the rubber very well could just be stretching out, because you can see I can pinch it very simply and pull a pretty good portion of it off. Or the body itself is just an older body that it doesn't fill out the suit as much. But that being said, those are just a couple things that my figure has. Not saying it's with every figure. Let me zoom this back out. Not saying it's with every figure, but this is what it is with mine. So it comes down to the question is it worth? And also, I did also want to. I also have a custom cape with this. So this is not the stock Hot Toys cape. This is a custom cape that I spent about $120 for at the time, about 2 years ago. So there's a custom cape on this. So if you have this figure as is with a custom cape, do you need to upgrade to this figure, a straight upgrade? My answer would be no, because I don't think that the improvements really garner spending the kind of money for the new figure. People are going to say, oh, well, I'm going to sell this one off. I also see I'm also hearing talk about people probably trying to go backwards and pick this one up as a second. Just bear in mind that, I heard people say they might get this to put it in the Batmobile. The suit technology on this might not be good enough to stick it in the car. So that's just something to consider. But if you're someone that has this thinking, well, I might sell it to go get the new one, I mean, I don't expect the resale value on this to be good. You'll be lucky if you break even. You might even lose some money on this. So if you have this figure, I always thought that it was perfect as is. The upgrades that Hot Toys did on it was really great. As I said, I'm getting two because of the Batmobile. If I wasn't getting the Batmobile, I would probably consider getting rid of this figure, depending on how much I could sell it for, and then just getting the deluxe. Like I said, I pre-ordered the deluxe already, but if I wasn't getting the car, or the car was non-existent, I would probably look at dumping this, selling it off to somebody who wants a second one. If I broke even on it or made a little bit, or, I'm trying not to ever take a loss. You don't ever want to sell stuff to take a loss. We buy stuff because we want to buy it, and we profit or break even. That's just secondary. But I would probably look to try either trade this off or sell it off, because I don't need two of them. But in this case, because I'm getting the Batmobile, I am going to have two figures. But in my opinion, if you have this one with the cape, I don't think it's worth upgrading straight right away. And also, I wouldn't day one pre-order this if you're in that situation. If you're not getting the Batmobile, I would hold off and wait to see what other Michael Keaton figures come out from the Flash movie. New suits have been teased. 1992, the new suit for the Flash. I personally would wait and kind of see what trickles out over the next couple of weeks. If you're on Sideshow, play the blue screen game. You have time. You'll have a couple months. It won't sell out right away. It just was launched, and I'm sure there's gonna be more Flash figures, released. So I would turn around and probably wait at that point. Like I said, I pre-ordered them because I wanted to kind of lay out my roadmap because I have like the Mark 6 and things like that. So I did pre-order them early. I know I was all in on this. So I'm all in on 89. Anything 89, I'm buying. But if you're someone that's kind of selective, it doesn't hurt to wait. But like I said, that's my opinion. And what I wanted to do was I just wanted to simply, give people have people look at the existing figure and basically see the limitations of what this one has, and just understand these upgrades on this suit could be very beneficial in terms of the material and stuff like that. Seeing how the DX09 operates hopefully gives you better insight in terms of what we hope to expect from the new one. As I said, we won't know the whole story until we have them in hand to do a side-by-side comparison, which I'll probably do that when I get this figure. I'll do a before and after comparing the DX09 to this. But until then, we have the photos to go by, and then hopefully we get some secret base photos of it in natural lighting so we can take a look at those features. The color of the suit, it looks darker in pictures here, so I'm interested to see that. And like I said, the texture on the cowl, I'm really excited to see all that stuff. But as I said, guys, make sure to check out my channel, subscribe to the channel, my Instagram. I'm currently sitting at around 610 subs. We have a goal of 700, a little ambitious, but we're trying. So I would really appreciate if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed, definitely think about subscribing. I would really appreciate all the support. Check out my Instagram page as well, Mr. Mom Collectibles, doing photography all the time. And drop a comment below and let me know, are you getting this figure or are you going to pass and wait for something else? Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.